Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Wanted to put out a quick video. Wanted to talk a little bit about the newest bit of news on the NIL front at Florida State University. Wanted to share my take to the best of my ability. I met with the Warpath 850 folks through Dreamfield before that collective was launched, and really tried to do my best on social media to launch that and help kind of spearhead introducing a lot of people to that. I was there when Rising Spear launched. We had Rising Spear on the Spaces the day they launched, and have been on the front of that. We had Rising Spear and Warpath 850 on the Spaces when they merged and when they collaborated. And you guys know they work together to do the Twitter Spaces now. They're the Rising Spear Twitter Spaces, brought to you by Dreamfield. And so another NIL Collective. I know Micanopy 850 exists as well. They don't ask for any donations. They're not asked. So they're a little bit different. And James Coleman, those guys do a great job over there. But I did want to talk to you about the new NIL collective that is coming out potentially today, potentially in the next couple of days. Full disclosure, before we kind of go through any of this, I will say I love Florida State. I've supported all three collectives that we've had up until this point, with Warpath 850 and Rising Spirit financially. Micanopy just, through they're not asking for money. So through social media posts, through different things like that. And so I love Florida State University. I love our student athletes. I 100% support student athletes earning NIL. I've done things to help Dreamfield. We've done watch parties. We've done spaces. We've done different things through Rising Spirit, and I'm 100% all through that. I 100% support student athletes earning NIL in any legal way that they want to. I have no problem with them using any platforms or any methods that they think is best for them. I am going to do my best to offer an unbiased assessment of these two main NIL options that you have to potentially support FSU based on the limited information I have available. I do strongly encourage anybody listening to this, anybody watching this, to do your own research. And I will say, limited information. As things continue to trickle out, we will update. If anything I do say is inaccurate, incorrect, I welcome both Rising Spear or the Tallahassee NIL Club, Yoke, to reach out, let me know. Happy to publicly correct that. Happy to have any kind of conversations, both privately and publicly, regarding anything that's discussed here tonight. So with all said, full disclaimer, 100% in support of student athletes using any legal method that they find necessary to garner income, and have no issues with that at all. Do want to chat with you again. I mentioned it briefly by name, but the newest NIL collective that's coming to be available to support Florida State student athletes, the Tallahassee NIL Club. If you go to TallahasseeNILClub.com, you'll actually see a website. Here, I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see it, but they've got their website here. There's a button to support now. There's a message board, it looks like, coming, a chat feature. I don't know if that's like a help feature or not. But there's a message board, a chat. Looks like player content will be coming soon. And a sign-in page, pretty typical. Different membership benefits, online community, digital events, player content, and discussing past games. Obviously you're supporting to help players get paid. Frequently asked questions. Are there minimum maximums, collection amount? So you can go through, you can check all that out. Support now. They are taking donations at this point. $25 monthly, you get a free Jalen Ramsey jersey. $100 monthly, you get invited to a steak dinner with players this fall. So you can enter them out. You could enter $100, continue, put in your username, phone number. I'm going to stop here. I don't want to end up getting any farther and showing you guys my my credit card info. So anyway, pretty straightforward. To TallahasseeNILClub.com. It is launched. It is live. As far as on a website, I don't know if there's been an official announcement just yet from what I've seen. Former Notre Dame players Mick Alsif and Nick Weischer, hopefully I'm getting those names correctly, are two of the three co-founders of Yoke. Yoke is the parent company, sort of like Dreamfield was for Warpath 850. Their FSU Twitter account goes live tomorrow. It's twitter.com/Tallahassee NIL. Originally, Yoke started, best I can understand, Yoke started as a app to play video games with your favorite players. It's evolved more into a Patreon, and don't laugh at me when I say this, but a Patreon or OnlyFans experience, integrating social media. I certainly don't mean from the negative connotation that you may have with OnlyFans, but more of a request, kind of a solo account where you can send money to people for whatever, right? We have a Patreon for double fries and for the roll up and things like that. So not super uncommon there. There's nothing on Tallahassee NIL Club.com or the main site as far as actual percentages that they cut as overhead or profit or anything like that. The LSU site recently went live. It's Baton Rouge NIL. You can scroll that feed to just kind of see how it works, get a little bit more information. They released a video with their launch. I'd assume you see a similar video when Florida State launches. I'll actually throw that up on the screen and let you guys watch that quickly.
Tiger fans, it's Quad Wilson here.
What's up? It's Latarius Watch.
Lanson Smith.
Devin Francione.
Tavian Folk.
Gabe Leonards.
Matt Jane.
Colby Richardson.
Wayne Blue here.
Jordan Allen.
Kels Bush.
Bryce Langston.
Jack Rilling.
Kobe Fields.
Garrett Dallinger.
Tiger fans, we are officially live at Baton Rouge NIL Club.com, and we need your help.
Yeah, we need your help.
We need your help.
And we need your help.
The players on our team have come together to launch the Baton Rouge NIL Club,
which is an online community that allows all our fans to financially support the team and interact with us players.
Every LSU fan can join the BRNC right now by making any monthly commitment to the club.
Every fan living anywhere in the world is welcome, and every dollar counts.
Every dollar counts.
Every dollar counts.
Money generated through our NIL club will equally support the members of our team that are part of our club.
Benefits of being a member include meet and greets with players, film breakdowns, an online community to connect with me and my teammates, and much more.
If you are able to support our NIL club, it will really mean the world to our team.
We're looking forward to see y'all soon.
We look forward to see all you guys soon.
And go Tigers.
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 Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
So obviously not ironic that we take LSU on in the first real game of the year. I know Duquesne happens, but you can scroll again down their Twitter feed to see a little bit more of how that works. It's twitter.com/Baton Rouge NIL. Some other news and notes. Norman's NIL Club raised about $12,000 in the first 24 hours. That was posted June 29th of this year. Minnesota joined on June 30th. So they do have different outlets. Again, I think it's a little bit like that Dreamfield model when you saw it go from UCF. You saw them start it, then go to FSU. They ended up merging with Rising Spear. Dreamfield now, it looks like, from what I've seen, there's some smoke of them getting into the USF market as well. So similar in that regard, a parent company, and then they make their way to different towns to work with different teams. I do have, and so that's really all that we know about this company until more starts to come out. That's really all the info that we really have. Welcome them on a podcast on the FSU Spaces. Anything that we end up doing to chat about it more, but that's kind of what we know at this point. I have a couple of concerns. I'll raise those. Again, full disclaimer at the beginning, I have no problem with any athlete using any legal methods of making income, and I'm a full supporter of that. I have no problem with where you send your money as a listener, as a fan. But here are some of my concerns. The amount going to the players, for example, the amount going to the players versus the overhead to run the service is not clearly defined. In fact, you can dig through the site and very little is clearly defined there. A little bit of a concern. I think Rising Spear operates in a pretty good metric of transparency with different board members like Derek Brooks and Megan King and champions at Florida State that line that board. And so I think that there needs to be a little bit more clarity around what's going on there for me to feel comfortable enough to donate there. After they take their cut, Yoke splits the money equally among active participating athletes. In order to participate, you have to agree to be a brand ambassador, which involves pleading for help for the fans on social media and participating in similar events, etc., that are not normally associated with NIL. In my estimation, an example of that would maybe again be the video we watched earlier of the LSU players, pleading, begging, asking, however you want to consider that, for donations. Would not be surprised if you have already, or if you soon see something similar with FSU athletes. Those are my two major concerns. Again, the amount going to the players and how much that overhead to run the service is when Rising Spear operates at a 0% overhead cost. Rising Spear's founders, as you know, Bob and Alan, do not take any money. All salaries paid from Rising Spear are out of their pockets. And so being able to take 100% of donations and give that to the players is really, really strong. It's something that's uncommon. I will say that too. The Gator Collective, so again, our kind of our closest collective that's maybe close to us, lists on their website that athletes get between 80 and 90% of what's donated, which I think is really, really good. But the Gator Collective does take some overhead, keep some marketing costs and things like that, whereas Rising Spear operates at a 100% goes to the athletes policy. That's my big concern. The second one is, again, what the players are getting paid for, the splitting it collectively among different athletes. I don't know if that's, the business model that Florida State fans aggressively want an NIL company to do, to just give everybody the same exact amount. If that is something that you like and support, then, this may be the thing for you. One other quick concern of mine, it's a similar concern I had at the time that Rising Spear and Warpath 850 coexisted, was that I believe that in this new world of NIL, people are pretty confused about what to donate, where to donate, why they should donate. And so there's a lot of confusion around it just because the law around NIL and these NIL platforms are just over a year old, and the platform's even younger than that. I think a lot of times that competition is a good thing in the market, and in a lot of places, variety is a good thing in the market. But I do think that at times confusion leads to inactivity, and that was my biggest concern that I voiced to both the Warpath and the Rising Spear folks before they had merged, was that sometimes confusion can lead to that inactivity. And I worry about people not knowing where to donate, what to donate to. And hopefully I've helped clarify some of that confusion for you. Hopefully you do some of your own research as well to try and find out where the best place to send your money is. But that is another concern of mine. You see this NIL Collective popping up in Tallahassee NIL Club, and you wonder if others will potentially pop up as well. And does that water down the message of a collective like Rising Spear that, again, as much as they can be, is pretty in lockstep with the university? I don't know. I think that that's something that concerns me, that worries me. I don't think that Tallahassee NIL Club is doing anything malicious. I don't think they're doing anything that's immoral. I just think that for the fan base that already has questions about NIL, is it the best thing for the fan base to now have more questions around another platform, a now fourth collective in Tallahassee? And, will this alleviate questions? Will this make donations easier? Will it make it tougher? I'm not sure, but I do have that concern as well. I do think that as we continue to add collectives, and if more pop up, that leads to more confusion. And a lot of times, like I said, confusion leads to inactivity. So that's another concern that I have as well. Bottom line, I do think FSU has a collective right now that is acting in the best interest of the college. And like we mentioned with Rising Spear, giving 100% of those donations raised to the students. Look how many current and former student athletes are serving as ambassadors for Rising Spear. The biggest of biggest names, from Jordan Travis to the softball girls that are winning titles and things at Florida State, to the soccer team, the beach volleyball team, basketball, women's basketball. The list goes on and on. Baseball, I'm excited for once the fall rolls around. And then your legends, right? Your Megan Kings, your Derek Brookses, your Charlie Wards, and folks like that. At the end of the day, this is just informational. I may trying to be as unbiased as I can, try to provide you as many facts as I can, but you need to ask yourself at the end of the day who you would rather support. I would encourage you to support. At the end of the day, both of these platforms are giving money to student athletes, and they're benefiting our FSU student athletes. And I'm a heavy proponent of NIL, especially in regards to supporting Florida State student athletes. But you have two options to support financially. One is an NIL that's in lockstep with the college as best as it can be with the current Florida laws, but a company that is 100% in lockstep with the university as much as they can be, with some former booster board members on it, with some folks that have worked within Florida State University athletics, and gives 100% of those donations to the student athletes, or an NIL that takes an undisclosed cut of the athlete's money, operates entirely independently of the college, and then splits the rest of the proceeds equally amongst the athletes who support them. So you have two options. Again, one that operates a certain way, one that operates another way. And it's up to you to decide which of those you find more value in. And then I encourage you to donate. It doesn't matter to me which one you donate to. Nobody's paying me to be here. Yoke's not paying me. Rising Spear's not paying me. This is completely your decision. But if you choose to donate to NIL, I hope that you take these things into consideration. I hope that as we find out more about Yoke, there becomes more clarity. But I would certainly urge you to do your own research, do your own digging to try and find out what you can see on their platform. You can go to Tallahassee NIL Club.com. You can go to risingspear.com, research any and all of this. Very happy for you to check that out. Don't just listen to me. This is my take. This is my opinion. I tried to be at the forefront of Warpath 850 to tell you guys what was coming. I tried to be at the front of risingspear.com to tell you guys what was coming with that. And so trying to, again, be on the front of this to let you guys know my thoughts, but do your own research. Find a place to support our student athletes through an NIL platform. I'll throw in to support the boosters too while you're at it at boosters.fsu.edu. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Until next time, go Noles.